We deliver the news to your door. Breaking news, top headlines, the big story, the latest update, and all you need to know are only available on the African Actions Network, 2A Radio and TV. The only independent and balanced online news network. Broadcasting from America to the world. We inform, communicate.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, out there in Radio Land. Big good evening to our panelists and special guests here tonight. My name is Borby Broplay. I'm going to be the host. I am a financial professional. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Today we'll be discussing the topic, the role of e-commerce in economic development in Liberia. And so I'll do a little round robin so everyone can give a full introduction, starting with my co-host, Mr. Jackson George. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Sorry. My name is Jackson George. I am the Executive Director of the Liberian Business Association in the Diaspora, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Mr. George. And we'll move on to Mr. Ignatius. Go ahead, sir.
Ignatius Nipe. Hi, my name is Ignatius Simel Nipe, and I'm the Program Director at Liberia'S Diaspora. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you so much. And then Mr. Brokler.
Thank you. My name is Snola Brapla. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. In this stance, I'll actually be focusing on my role as Chief Strategy Officer for My Watchman.
All right, thank you very much. And in the spirit of full disclosure, Mr. Brokler is my brother, so you probably already saw that. All right, Mr. Sabwa, go ahead, sir.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Prince Sakpa. I'm the creator of True Liberia and Terra Liberia.
All right. Thank you so much. So let's go ahead and just jump in. Starting with you, Mr. Sabwa, can you tell us a little bit about your company? And then we'll follow up with some questions as we go along.
Yeah. Well, True Liberia is digital content development firm. They Right now we have one app, which is the True Liberia website. We are building the app because we haven't launched it, which will have a different name. But we are creating. The goal is to create many different uh, functions functional app to serve Liberia. Well, the True Liberia app right now that we have online, the website serve businesses, showcase a lot of different businesses in Liberia. It's a directory. You go and search whether you want to find hotels, restaurant, guest houses, and what have you. Uh, you can go on the app and search. And we showcase a lot of businesses on both our Facebook page and social media YouTube account. I have a couple of videographers and in Liberia that the actual goal is to showcase businesses, but sometimes it gets really difficult reaching most of the businesses in Liberia. So we are doing other things that showcasing different places in Liberia, different developments going on, and so much more.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Sabwa. And Mr. Brokler?
Thank you again, Borby. So I am the co-founder and Chief Strategy Officer for My Watchman, but our parent company is Advanced Converge Technologies. We are headquartered in Liberia, but our reach goes beyond. We're actually looking at exploring into like Uganda and Kenya. But just to give a little bit about My Watchman, My Watchman, it's emergency response app. Uh, our utilization of the emergency response ecosystem is unique. The first time to actually take this approach, and so what we do is you can have the app is on the Play Store or on um, or in Apple Store. Um, and what that app does is if there's medical, security, gender-based violence, or fire emergency, you just have to tap a button, and you'll actually get a responder to your location. Um, and every time I actually mention that, to folks, either if I'm traveling to Kenya or Liberia, the question becomes like, that is unbelievable, or there's a lot of doubt. So I really want to actually have this conversation just to kind of like talk about how we approach this, because we definitely took a different approach to being able to be efficient and be innovative, understanding the Liberian context and understanding like the African context. This is one of those things where when you hear only Africans can come up with like the African solutions, this is a case in point. Wherein, because we've had like other partners who've come to the country and tried to replicate, or who've gone to like other parts of where we're gonna be expanding to and try to replicate, and they can't because they don't understand the context. We'll talk about some of those unique like drivers as we go through the evening.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Ms. Propla. And Ignatius, go ahead, sir.
Let me just talk about initials. I brought you in because of e-commerce, and you want to talk about a little of what you know about e-commerce in Liberia.
Yeah, thank you so much. Besides what I do for Liba, I own and operate a mobile app named Market Day app. It's an e-commerce based platform that pretty much serve as a bridge between consumer like us live out here in the diaspora and merchants back home, both service provider and those that sell commercial items. So market day is pretty much like a bridge. I like to describe it that way. It enables us that lives in the diaspora to buy directly from merchants in Liberia. So there's no middleman in between. Whatever you buy on the app gets going. Funds that you spend on the app gets going directly into those merchants' accounts. So yeah, I'm very happy to share my experience, share what I know about the space. So I'm
Okay.
better off with question and answers as it relates to that. And there are some statistics I can also share based on the need basis as it relates to app-based users in Liberia and vis-a-vis connectivity when it comes to internet service and the frequency of use in terms of daytime, nighttime, and so forth. Buying habits, online buying habits, and so forth. So yeah,
All
I'm
right.
being
Thank you
able
so
to
much, sir.
question and answer.
And I'm sorry. What's your last name again?
Nipe, we went to school together, Beer. Carrie
Oh,
Baptist, just to freshen up your memory.
okay, okay. Calvary Baptist. Damn, Nipe.
Yes,
Wow,
sir.
but do you remember Snoller from Calvary Baptist?
Yes, I do. With the beer and also.
Wow. All right. I guess since you put it that way, well. um, Well, just by way of information, the link to Facebook has been made available, and I shot it out to your Facebook. I mean your WhatsApp pages, so you can shoot it out to your friends and guests. Good to meet you again, Mr. Nipe.
Same,
We're
likewise.
all getting old now, so it's hard to recognize people. I see Mr. Abdullah Kamara has joined in. You didn't miss too much, sir. We were just going around and introducing ourselves. So I guess you can go ahead and take the floor, and then we'll start with questions.
Oh, okay. Anyway, good evening, gentlemen. I don't know if everybody is in LIB or in the US. It's pretty close to 11 p.m. here. So, good evening. Abdullah Kamara is my name. I usually say I'm a serial entrepreneur, uh, been building all sort of stuff around here, and I actually love doing that. So I'm the founder and currently CEO of Iwali Incorporated, Tama Corporation. And Tama Corporation is a parent company for other smaller uh, gigs that are coming up. So like EPAD, School Mass, and so forth. I also operate, I think, the biggest private technical school in Liberia called NetLib. I'm an NDTI. I think some of you may know. Um, my background, of course, is technology. So most of my businesses center around technology. Um, uh, Pretty much the two of my of our products, or I would say our other business operations, are in the e-commerce space. The first one being eWallet. I think I know my brother. Is that Ignatius? I think we
That's
met.
me. That's me. That's me.
We met a few weeks ago. Great stuff you're doing, and there's
Thank you.
opportunity for us to make the pie even bigger for everybody. Um, Interestingly, we've been building solutions for industries, so finance, health, education. Uh, Last week we made several pronouncements. I think I shared last week briefly in this group. 2 weeks ago, we launched the electronic patient dossier. I'll elaborate a little bit on that. eWallet is currently our flagship product, the only 100% local mobile money platform, good for the diaspora family. So I think my brother Jackson was trying to push us the last time when I was on. Thank you, my brother. But we need to actually do a lot more so the folks on that end can get to know us. And then we have the School Mass. So School Mass is a school administration software that also enables even diaspora folks to monitor the wards or the children school performances, activities, but also pay their school fees from there. The electronic patient dossier is finally we have a platform that you can carry with you anywhere, the entire health dossier. If you went to uh, SOS or JFK today and you took treatment, the first thing, there will be no record of you because each of the other places you've been keep their record physically on file unless you go and pay somebody money if they find it. And if you went to JFK today, they'll create a new file for you. And after tomorrow, if you went by for follow up, they'll have to create a new file for you. So instead of relying on your health history, every doctor that meets you will have to treat you separately. So now we have it on the app, but the hospitals are also empowered on the app to keep their records of what they're doing, financial. So it also helps the insurance companies that have insurance with people that have, that visit hospitals. Um, we working, the Ministry of Health and us launched this 2 weeks ago. So all government hospitals will be on platform. One of the main challenge is how do they monitor the use of drugs and all of that. And the platform does that. So if I went to the States tomorrow and I got sick, I can share my app and they will see exactly the treatment I've been having, the entire history of what I have. And we've been having some studies, several studies have shown that you guys in the diaspora send money for a lot of things, but the top three are health, school fees,
Fees
and
and food, basic consumables.
yeah, and consumable their food and stuff like that. So we address school and health already, and our eWallet platform actually allows you to top up using your credit card and send money right here locally to anybody in Liberia. And we look for we have a marketplace, but I think I heard my brother's solution the last time. I think we've started sharing some
Mhm.
information, I guess,
Yeah, yeah,
so we can collaborate and integrate.
yeah.
I'm happy to finally meet the face behind the how do you call them, the watchman, eh?
One of the
My watchman.
faces. Yeah,
Oh,
my
one of
watchman.
yeah. So I
Yeah,
think with our health app, there is
exactly.
opportunity for some level of collaboration.
And,
I think
yeah,
we
Agreed.
talked
speaking of
about it.
which, yeah, speaking of that, as you were mentioning that, it kind of brought a thought to my mind. If at all, you guys, is there a platform in Liberia for companies like yours to meet and collaborate, or is this your first time interacting with each other face to face?
So
What
basically,
you have to find each other. Sorry,
yes, yeah.
you have to find each other like Ignatius did with us. And there was a tech summit, by the way, the entire I think 2 weeks ago or week, 3 days long. We were present all 3 days. We met some new interesting guys, by the way, that are in the spaces, but it was mostly dominated by Orange and Lone Star again. And we
Yeah.
need to change that narrative. And
Yeah.
I'm happy we have our brothers here. And we, in my company, I have three young shareholders. They're all around, let's say around on average around 25 years old. And I gave all of them share in the company so they can stick around. Very talented guys. They can do the same thing those guys in the US can do.
Right.
So there's a lot for us to do, but we have to seek and check around where to find each other.
Okay. Yeah, and that's actually the purpose of this platform, the Business and Economic Forum, is to connect like-minded Liberians, especially people in the same field, like Mr. Prince Sagba with True Liberia, and and of course, my Watchman. Um, I know you guys just briefly touched on your companies, but I'm interested in knowing, for instance, my Watchman, where are we right now as far as um visibility in Liberia? Because I believe your app is something that everybody uh, can use or should be using, because
Right.
it's like a 911 system, so to speak. Can you talk a little bit about that? What you
Sure.
guys are doing to reach out?
Sure. I will take a step back and say this. You know, when you think about Liberia, in comparison to, um, you know, other,
Yes.
African countries, no, I'm talking about strictly African countries. When it comes to like digital literacy, right? What happens is there's a behavior where you use what you're comfortable using. So when M-Pesa out of Kenya led with mobile money, right? Um, Early adopters picked on now mobile money, and that's kind of like the transaction of uh, goods and services, using dollars is very, very easy because people already know that, right? When you get to our space, when it comes to like emergency response, you heard Mr. Kamara state that, Liberians will send for health, they will send for food, and they will send for what was the third
School
thing?
fees. School
School
fees.
fees, right? Now, with my Watchman, the layer of healthcare we're looking at is at the moment point of care, like in the moment when you have a situation, right? And I'm just talking about on the healthcare side, right? But if I just take that concept one step further, um, nonprofits don't see this in this space. Like in our emerging markets, we don't address point of care when that incident happens. It's always a delayed after the fact. How do we get them to the hospital? Or how do we get them, or how do we call the police to come to this scene? Or how do I go report to the police that I got robbed? The solution, what we're trying to close is we're trying to close that whole social response gap, right? And we contextualized it for Liberia and for most parts of the region. So that's why I will just use one of our response types, the most popular one, fire. Okay, fire makes up about 90% of our responses today. And the question becomes, do we run our own fire service? No. And if I also say that on average, our response to the fire service is 10 minutes or less, the question becomes, how are you doing that? Well, so what we did is we took what we call like a shared value partnership approach. Okay. We engage with the fire service. We partner with them as part of our corporate social responsibility. We help rehab their different stations around Monrovia. So remember, all the fire trucks used to sit in the center of the city before. We helped them rehab Beaumont Bridge, Ghanaville area, Painesville. Done. Very simple, because right now we're in Montserrat and Mount Gibby. And then we issued them free devices. Okay. So cell phones with the responder in on the app. And when you think about your typical Uber or Bolt or service, is the exact same way the app works. Okay. So the user actually, if they're in a fire situation, they hit the fire button. We run a 24/7 dispatch center in Liberia. Okay. On 15th Street behind Royal. All right. So it's always running a command center there. All right. And when that call comes in, on the screen, you can see all of the different responders and where they are. Because again, it's all cheap. It's all Google API mapping, right? And with that, we assign the closest responder. All right. So what happens is several things happen in that case. Two things. One is you're able to assign the closest person to the incident. Two is they don't need to ask for directions. And then I will also speak to the fact of kind of like just our normal bias about, oh, the fire, the men that went there to go start the fire, then had to go look for water. I will address that as well. All right. So for instance, the place most fires happen in Montserrat today is Oro. It's the highest concentration of fires. All right. So our response time is around 10 minutes or less. All right. And the reason for that is because number one, you don't need to give directions play by play. Right. And number two, you have the closest fire engine. Here's the other part. Because we're able to let the fire the firefighters know what type of fire it is. Another stat, over 85% of the fires are all electrical. Okay. That kind of data was never available before. So what are we doing with that information?
Can we talk about police response briefly before more? Because that's one of the things we're debating on, Jackson and myself. Like, how do you guys get police to respond?
Absolutely.
And to add to it, just to respond to that, what is the cost? I mean, how is there a cost associated with that? Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I can address all of that. So for the police response, all right. So here's how we approach that. So we approach all of the different like government entities, but also we approached private entities as well. So we're in partnership with Genesis, we're in partnership with Pilot, and we're supported by the police. And I'll give you some like use cases with that. So what happens is all of the roving security. So Genesis has our devices as well as Pilot. They have our devices. Okay. So the same way that if there's an emergency or security situation, that user hits the app, we assign it to the closest responder. Let's talk about when the police gets involved. So we have had several conversations, year-long conversations with the police and the justice ministry. It's a very, very nuanced space. And so they have to like think about national security and all of that. So what they do is to provide backup. So if there's an armed robbery, right, they will actually like show up. All right. Anywhere that needs to happen. Oliver Clark, my partner in Liberia right now, we're actually in closer discussions, and they're getting closer to actually vetting our area as a LNP sponsored like response command center to actually like bring them on board. So again, some of these things are when you think about the um, the uniqueness of the solution we're trying to provide, it takes a learning curve for folks to actually appreciate that. So much so that we are actually going into Kenya. We have partners in Kenya. We're expanding into Kenya. They are way more susceptible because again, they are more digitally forward economy, right? We're going into Uganda. One of our partner, we're partnering with another global firm. We're going to Uganda. Admittedly, I actually made the argument with Oliver that, hey, look, we need to make Liberia work. Because if we make Liberia work, right, that's a use case that we can take and replicate in the most difficult, underserved African economies. In terms of pricing, what we did is this model we have, right? If you go to South Africa, you will see Usalama. If you go to Kenya, you will see things like I'm trying to remember their name, but they have like these response types for the middle class, for the middle and upper class. Okay, and that's so their price point is usually around like $20 a month or $40-$50 a year for individual plans. Okay, but we charge $2 a month, and I'll tell you why. My other hat I wear is I work with Habitat, and I lead strategy and planning for Habitat globally. And the sometimes in our internal bias we say that poor people don't have money. That is not true.
That's not true.
That is not true.
It's just misplaced of preference.
The informal sector does not like to put their money in the formal sector because they don't trust it. Okay, I helped develop a $200 million housing fund. So when we look at our pricing structure, we're making it affordable for the market women. We're making it affordable for the Yana boys. We're making it affordable for the everyday Liberian. We got that one bottle of beer, right? So once somebody can understand that, oh, I can have this thing that can actually protect me, and if there's a medical emergency, that ambulance will actually come and pick me up for $2 a month. That's the thing. Victoria, if you go on our website, you'll see her. She lives in Nukru Town, but I don't know how many times when I save Nukru Town from fire. Okay,
wow,
she lives there.
Amazing.
We partner with IRC. IRC was one of our partners that they wanted to actually strengthen the gender-based violence reporting, and we partnered with them. So we did like about 300 women. 300.
Is that International Rescue Committee?
Yes, International Rescue Committee, and it was a project funded by IRC and CEDA. And what we realized is that, fortunately, a lot of people didn't raise gender-based violence responses. However, right, several things happened. One, they tested the app. So that whole digital literacy part, they were using it. Our command center were getting test calls, and we encourage that. We don't get vexed. We say, no, test it. Call us. Because we want you to believe in it, right? But Victoria Young, I would mention her. She sells in Nukru Town, all right? And her neighbor house was on fire. And she raised her SOS. When the SOS came through, and it's on our website, the recording is there. Victoria is coming like our ambassador because she didn't even understand how it happened. When the lady said, okay, why you said fire? She said, yeah, the fire on. It's okay, we're on our way. She said, but I don't get your direction, how you will find us? She will be telling you, she said, by the time I look, I didn't hear the siren sound or the siren just on the sound. I said, but how did people find me? Again, right? This woman gets up and goes to her market friend and tell her, say, you better pay the $2 for the thing because the thing it saved the whole area. So again, it's that piece. Yeah. And so that's kind of like the approach. We call it like volume-based pricing. We call it inclusive pricing so that anybody can afford it. All right. And it transcends like our economic status.
So are you going to get to profitability just based on the volume?
Yes.
Okay.
It looked like Bobby, we need to bring Mr. Buble on for a full show because this is important. This is actually important. I know we got other guests and we got to go, but it is very important for our people. And all of us on this platform, including
there's
Mr.
a connection.
If we connect it, it makes it easier. All the
There's a
platforms can work.
connection.
You
All
know.
right.
So Prince, let's hear from you. I know. Tell us your story about your
Wait,
frustration
Jackson,
about yeah.
Jackson, I think Ignatius is he has another engagement soon, so I wanted him to come in first, and then Prince goes after him.
Okay. Ignatius,
Yeah.
tell us about your the e-commerce, and I know Mr. Kamara talked about some of it. How does it work with internet? I know Little Research said that the e-commerce industry is 16 billion. It should have moved to 29 billion before 2022, and so I mean with the internet situation, the electricity. Tell us a little about how this thing work.
So yeah, you just identified some of our challenges. I think Mr. Kamara will bear witness to that. Statistically, it is said that out of our population of about 5 million, there is anywhere between 275,000 to 300,000 daily user of mobile apps and other applications that are, from digital device and so forth. Having said that, we base our own focus on the numbers of users at peak times and off peak times. So, what our approach were when we envisioned the entire project was that, hey, there are many of times we tend to send money back home for, you know, reasons best known to ourselves, but, we always use a middleman. Like, for example, if I want to send something to Abdullah, I got to say, if he's not available, I got to send it to somebody, and the person now goes collect it and deliver it. Or if I want to purchase something, I have to send it to Abdullah, and he goes and purchase it. Many of times during our test cases, the reports are there. People complain that out of 9 out of 10, they did not get what they wanted, and even if they did get what they wanted,
They gotta pay something.
yeah, they did not get the quality. So we saw that there was a gap and an opportunity, and we breached that. So that was what gave birth to Market Day app, which is now in the both stores, Apple and Google Play Store. But some of I like to be in this forum. Some of our struggles have been marketing, number one, collaboration, monetization, and of course user experience, UX to be short. So when I speak about marketing, we are now on the verge of tailor making our marketing strategy so that it can fit the Liberian scenario and gain the traction.
So Ignatius, we got Mr. Kamara, you, Mr. Bople. The question I have, if you got Orange and these big guys in the game, how can we make it work for all of us to start coming together and putting this puzzle together so that we come up as one unit? We may have our separate companies, but now
Yes.
we are communicating and we're making it work.
So collaboration, this is a perfect forum. As if you follow
Yeah.
closely, the four of us here are in the tech sector, but in different niche
Verticals.
market.
Yeah.
Different niche market. And the good thing about that is that there's room.
There's enough room.
There's room for collaboration. When I heard about what the good job that Mr. Kamara was doing, I reached out to him. I visited with him. He was very receptive, and we are working out the modalities now. Instead of me working with non-Liberian third party as a payment option, I'm now unbundling my entire payment portal so that I can integrate his payment portal so that we can keep it Liberian.
Absolutely.
And we can roll out the scheme. Like what Prince mentioned and what Mr. Proplet mentioned, there's a possibility on my platform. I also pretty much integrated service providers as well as non-service providers. So by default, we can create connectivity amongst ourselves. There's room. It is endless.
Yeah.
It like we say at Market Day, we say one touch, endless possibilities. So those are some of the experiences we would like to be sharing in due course. Like you mentioned, we will need a full show to come on and be able to dive deeper into these nitty-gritty of these issues, which I believe in all sense of the word that we can form a strong collaboration and tell them goodbye. It's possible.
Well, speaking of spreading the word, so Prince Sagba has a platform that pretty much does just that, right, Prince?
Yes,
That's good to
Yeah,
know.
absolutely.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Let's
tell us
connect.
a little bit about True Liberia.
Yeah, so True Liberia, right now there is like the entity is representing the idea of the platform, which we're gonna move later into its own name, because True Liberia is gonna be like a technology company that is building apps. I've figured that I think there are some on the platforms there that is paying third parties to build their app or maintain their app, which is costly. I've seen a couple of Liberian apps in the past, and after sometimes is the maintenance, there
Hmm.
is no upgrade, there is no
Yeah.
updates. So that was the idea of True Liberia. And as I was going back and forth, back home and come back, trying to set it up, but also working on my farm and other things. And then for every time I come back, people will ask me, what do you think is the best, a good restaurant in Liberia?
Mm.
Until True Liberia, until True Liberia came, the website, I launched the website. There were people I knew that didn't even think there was a really upscale restaurants, guest houses, hotels in
Correct.
Liberia. You know, all they heard was negative things, and Liberia have not changed since the war. Everything was burned, and now everyone living in the arches. And
Yeah.
so the idea of I was like, but then what? The very first platform I can pull up is this business listing site or business directory where people can go and find businesses. If you want to search for a restaurant, you can go and find restaurants, and find multiple restaurants in the area. And so started building it. It's custom built from scratch, from the ground up. We have the upper and a business owner can go and sign up and add a business, and in less than 24 hours we will approve it. And most of the time the approving process is, we want to see more visual, because not many people reading.
Yep.
People want to see photos, and as just as Snola was saying,
You can call me
the,
slow. That's fine.
the snow.
My crew name
Yeah,
is not easy.
the testimony, the testimony of that lady,
Yes.
talking about how she was helped,
Yeah.
can be displayed on the page. We
We're gonna
want to
connect with
go,
you.
yeah, we want to go as far as creating customized pages. If you have a restaurant, have the menu of the restaurant, even digitize it, where I can go to restaurants here, what, Applebee's or somewhere, and I can, before I get there, already look up the menu.
Correct.
Of course, Google is helping them, but they are also doing it, and they are tech savvy. They have somebody in their marketing team or development team that is, making sure that all their menus and everything is online. In the
Hmm.
case of Liberia, not many of the business owners, especially Liberian business owners, have a website, or
Mm, they
even
Hmm.
don't.
it just recently you seeing Facebook
Yep.
pages coming out for
Yep.
businesses.
It's true.
So
So,
the
so,
ad,
so, so one of the things I want to ask though, I think marketing and publicity is one of the issues
Yep,
that we have. Many
correct.
people don't even know that we exist. I mean, as big as LIBA is, the Liberian Business
Yeah.
Association in the diaspora, people have not even heard about LIBA, right? So,
Hmm.
what can we do to start bringing out? Look at what Watchman is doing. Look at what eWallet is doing. Look at what Market Day. Look at what you're doing. I mean, these are important things for the development of our country, right? And yet
Absolutely.
we don't have, we're not marketing, or the publicity is not there. What can we do to bring up the different publicity?
Yeah.
Eh,
So, may I?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead. And I can chime in afterwards.
all right. So, Jackson, the last time we had conversation, I think there's sufficient data that we have. I usually like to start from how much money is sent to Liberia. There are wide range from I think around 400 to 500 million
500
dollars.
million
That's a lot of money that
remittances.
I believe, and we just said it. Why do they send it? Healthcare, education, and indeed provisions. We have all of the players here. By the way, our service, we are going to make it available for you guys, especially for those that want to ensure fulfillment in payment. Um, I believe labor from on your side. You know, we in Liberia, we don't know you, but you have a community in the U.S. that could help a lot of people get directed to these businesses. Nobel came and made a lot of money here from what my two brothers are trying to do. Just provision and made millions of dollars annually from that. Currently, they are not very effective. I think the market is also challenging for them. But I believe there's opportunity for our brothers. The thing that makes it difficult, how can merchants in Liberia instantly receive their payment if they don't have Visa or MasterCard or bank account in the US? So this is where we come in, because once they use our integration through Ignatius business or through our own marketplace, they can pay directly to the vendor without the need to get things confused, you know. So immediately the vendor gets his money, you go and pick up what you're supposed to get. Orange and Lone Star, MTN are not providing that kind of service, and this is where our opportunity lies. My brother from the Watchman, I am definitely sure there are opportunities for us, both ways, by the way, because we were even considering on our platform to include ambulance service, and now I'm hearing that you do have that already. So then there's an opportunity immediately to connect with each other. Even your subscription, you talk about $2. Currently, we doing the entire. Can you imagine? I did a project for the World Bank. I was the first project manager to help to enroll the LRA tax administration system. I was hired by the World Bank at the time. That was my first project that moved me back home.
Okay.
And we did similar project for the city council. Currently, the city government is collecting taxes through our platform. We are onboarding close to 15,000 businesses. Currently, we have roughly around, I think, 19,000 subscribers as businesses and individual subscribers at the same time. So we are growing. We will get there, but the collaboration will really speed up and accelerate that. Once you enter one channel, you will end up, I would say, fulfilling your service on another platform that that works seamlessly, because you should not be logging on to every different service individually to do the transaction. What makes Amazon so big, because it's like a one-stop shop. You go there, you do all your transactions, whatever they arrange in the background with other suppliers and middlemen, transporter, all those things.
You don't have to know about it.
Yeah, you don't have to know about it. All you know, you order stuff, it comes and it drops down at your doorstep. So, Liba, my brother, I'm so happy to have gotten connected with you guys. We want you guys to really share the message in your various network that the services that they've been wanting to do. And there's another guy, by the way, he's not on this platform now. There are groups that are now actually doing end-to-end construction service. They do design and implementation. That's one of the areas that people get screwed. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's not a bad word for that.
that people lost a
Yeah,
lot,
there's some
lose
challenges
a
with
lot of
that.
money. So now you have those guys, but guess what? One of the guys called me from the US. He said, "Look, I'm at concluding stage, but I need to be able to pay the vendors directly to their account, and I'd
Correct.
rather work with a Liberian company." There you go, another opening for us. So there's so much here to be done. Um, and I told, by the way, I had a meeting with some of the big guys, the MTNs and Orange. I told them, don't see us as competitors, see us as co-creator because we're gonna make the pie bigger.
Correct.
Yeah,
Where you don't have access, we have access. Where you don't have innovation, we have innovation. So see us because when you enter the room, there you got your big brothers. You're gonna make it if you're smart, but they're still gonna suppress you one way or another. We need our infrastructure to do our businesses, so we need to maintain an understanding that this is not about pushing them out, but we want a fair share of what we can with respect to how Liberians are spending money. So
Okay.
all right.
Let me add
Uh,
to Jackson. Let me just kind of like expound on that a little bit. You know, when we think about this space, okay, and we think about our context, and we think about the customer. Um, when we talk about partnerships, we have to understand that it is not transactional partnership. It is not binary. Okay, so what do I mean by that is, and again, I always kind of lean into my social investing side and social impact side. Um, there's a concept called creating shared value. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all of your companies, all of your Fortune 100 companies, and it's even permeating like within other parts of Africa. The concept of creating shared value, it is not um, coming to Mr. Kamara and saying, okay, here's a widget, you pay me for that widget. The concept of creating shared value is like looking at a partner, exploring their business model, and seeing how both of you guys can actually elevate at the same time. And I'll give examples. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
looking at a partner, seeing their business model, and seeing how they can both elevate. So let's talk about marketing in the context of creating shared value. So today, we are a 2-year-old company, so fairly young. Okay, however, we've been nominated for Startup of the Year, Founder of the Year, and Ecosystem Hero of the Year by the Global Startup Awards out of Norway. Okay, but we're a 2-year-old company. We're a 2-year-old company, but our angel round of investment came directly from Liberia in over $500,000. We are a $2 million company. I mean, we are a 2-year-old company, but we have like global partners like IRC, Sapria, Backpack EMR, and Equity Bank out of Kenya. Why is that? And the reason I would say is it's just another way of actually like understanding how to actually amplify your voice. Okay. And I'll give you an example of Orange and MTN, how we even approach them, where they're actually like, okay, we really got to think about how we want to actually work together. So Sapria is a global nonprofit. Their whole goal is to focus on providing free resources for people who experience either child molestation or to prevent that. Okay, but they're not in Africa yet, right? So if I approach the prayer, I was like, hey, listen, you're not here. I have a subscriber base in Liberia and I'm going to Kenya, right? How can we partner? Sabria jumps at the opportunity because number one, they see a way to integrate their messaging into our platform, right? We ain't exchanged money yet, but guess what Sabria is doing right now? Sabria is going to look for funding to make that happen,
Correct.
Hmm.
creating shared value. I will give another example. IRC, we are a for-profit company. IRC, I was like, but how we use your, what we're getting, I said, well, Don't you have like GBV survivors? Yes. Don't you want to understand their data? Like, don't you want to like find a better way of reporting? Yes, we do. Let's talk about it. Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm saying that to say, Mr. Kamara, like we have another partner called Backpack EMR. Okay. They have rights all over Uganda. They are a peer-to-peer EMR system. Okay. I told them, I said, this is great. You guys have that, but you are brick and mortar. You have to be in a clinic. How do you reach to the villages? How do you reach how do you penetrate to the ordinary user? What do you think they said? Come on board.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
I'm saying that to say it's not easy.
Easy.
But
Yeah.
you have to take your time and find the connection that everybody can elevate together. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And
So
I'm glad we're having this conversation because it's a perfect segue, Jackson, I believe, to this Friday's conversation, which is going to be tourism. So we'll have representatives from the Liberian Tourism Association and a few other tourism companies to talk about that. Um, I mean, just tell me, guys. I mean, Prince Saba's platform is obvious
yep.
with its connection to tourism. But tell me how you guys, Snoller and
So much.
Abdullah, how your platforms can help with tourism.
I don't even know where to begin. I can look.
Start and I'll follow up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I even want you to talk just from a layman point of view. In Liberia, in Patawi for and I got that app. I feel safe. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Yeah.
I think that's is exactly.
So
It's providing
complimentary.
security even for. I was looking through it the other day and saw that you can actually pay for the service temporary
Exactly.
service while you are in Liberia.
Yes.
So that can also, because
wow.
sometimes you're talking to people that want to travel to Liberia, they say, "How
Yep.
can I be safe?"
Yeah.
Well, just sign up for this app and
But when they say
the
watchman, I thought the
watchman
guy
will
was sending
watch
watchman
you.
to my house.
Right. And here's the
You
other
know.
thing. For like I have what I call the village plan, right? And I have it on my different property in Liberia. So what that means is if there's a security situation, I can actually raise an SOS from anywhere in the world.
Wow.
Oh well.
Right?
So
I don't have to be in Liberia,
mhm.
you know. So
Look,
one question, by
guys.
the way, before I get any further, the app, it's it
Mhm.
um, uh, for Android phones
Android
or
and Apple.
an Apple, but what about the button phone?
That
That will not
and
work.
no, it will not
Yeah.
work.
So, Kamara, where you
Yeah,
coming
no,
from with that
because I
button
think we
phone?
all got the same. We all
The
got
button
the
phone
same.
for BBC.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
No, but
speaking,
for Prince
speaking,
stuff, Bobby, we've even like explored for Prince stuff, even having like a checkbox that says, for added security, because we've talked to Royal, right? Where when people go there,
Royal
they come get a
Hotel.
reservation. Okay, they
Mhm.
want added security to get it, right? The thing here though is it will only happen for like people who are digitally savvy, right?
Yes.
Who actually understand that. But I'll tell you this, and I banjo my watchman on so many flights to Liberia. Let me tell you the response. You don't think that only like, oh, I want market women, our woman there who can be like, hey, I want to touch that thing. Educated people too.
Yeah,
They
like me.
say,
yeah.
I know.
So
why?
I've had so many discussions with
Come on,
people, because they reach out through Liberia. Hey, I didn't know Liberia had this many,
Mhm.
hotels, restaurants. This make me want to go to Liberia now.
There you
But
go.
how can I be safe? This is one of the reasons. Security has been one of the reasons we've been
Yes.
trying to introduce booking
Okay.
service through Liberia.
Very good.
But
So then,
one of the reasons that's been dragging this is security,
Is that
because I'm not in a position to provide security for people
Mm.
or
Okay.
guarantee
No guarantee
the
security.
security. If I'm partnering with Snulla and Washman, my Washman, that can be an add-on.
Yep.
And so if
Exactly.
I'm providing booking service that the book hotel or restaurant or
That
something,
is
or
correct.
somebody traveling into the country,
Most of the big, yeah,
we
you're
can say,
absolutely
okay,
correct.
this part of this securities, you can rest assured you sign up through our affiliate,
There you go.
and make a package.
Yeah, a quick
My
question.
watchman through
Yeah.
Liberia,
So
package and all that little eye. It's an eye on level, a
Yeah,
layer of
that's a
things.
big part of our
Quick question,
business.
Mr.
Yeah.
Buble.
Mhm.
For in Liberia, we got some security companies, right? They've
Yeah.
got like my house right now. I got a watchman at my home, right?
Correct.
Can security companies lace with you
Yes.
and get that app and have it so that because some of the securities are old men,
Yes.
so if they have that app on their phone, it helps them do that. So can we refer those companies to you?
Yeah. So I told you Genesis and Pilot, but I'll tell you this about the whole add-on piece. There's several like channels we use, because everything is not about like just social media marketing to actually, because you see people go on Facebook and read, but that conversion is high. Let me tell you how we approach that. Several things we've done. We have several channels. One is business to consumer. That means you got to go after every single customer. Or we just do value add services. So as we speak, like we have one or two insurance companies in Liberia that you'll be hearing from very soon that were a value added service for them. Okay. So what happens to them is basically they will be increasing their price by 1 or 2%, but the value they are getting back, right, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
With some wellness partners clinic, another one of our partners, right? So they bundle our thing with their plans. Wellness partners clinic that's led by Dr. Cooper. Okay, again, the conversation wasn't, oh, Dr. Cooper, you pay us. No. I asked the question. I said, look, where are you hurting right now? Where do you need like the most lift? So we just started the thing and we are trying to put our name out there. But and the way we actually engaged with them, Borby, and where it resonated was, I said, well, we have a medical line that actually goes through JFK 24/7, right? And we're like, well, why doesn't wellness clinic pick up 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. shift?
Oh, wow.
Again,
it makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Look, but you have to have the conversation, right? You have to have the conversation, and it cannot be, I'm coming in as a competitor. Mr. Kamara, as I'm talking, like, part of the My Watchman app collects healthcare information, right? But here's the thing with that. It stays right there. You don't see where I go with this.
EPAD needs it. No, seriously, EPAD needs it.
If there's a way, if there's a conduit for that, then you figure out, okay, like, how can we actually get this? Like, you got to do that first.
Yeah, because for us, usually once you take somebody to the hospital, there are several issues. The first thing, blood type, you got to know. So our app should be able to provide that.
That is correct.
Of course, the initial information can come from you, and then you connect to the app.
That is correct.
We know
exactly.
this
that is absolutely correct.
No, absolutely.
So again, that's a way to elevate both organizations.
No, I just told you we were considering even doing this ambulance thing to include our on our EPAD platform.
Yeah.
But I think I see a real good opportunity here because you already carve out that route.
Yeah.
So the best thing would be to engage and link up to ensure that we can complement each other in that in our process. But let me just take one step. Let me just take one step back regarding what we can do for for the tourism.
Tourism.
So our platform, especially when it comes to eWally, we have our entire marketplace where hotels can set up and be able to sell their rooms. People can order, book, and by the time they do their booking, actually you have your funds in advance, so the payment is made. That's one of the things that we had issues with some hotels, especially the bigger ones. They're like, yeah, okay, so how do I get my money? And we are like, no, you get your money even in advance. So once somebody books a room, you get paid before, after the reservation, immediately after the reservation is done. So we have a service to provide to hotels and what have you. A little sidestep. I said from the start, I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I also operate. I also operate a little village concept. We call it the Heritage Village. For those who are a little bit older, if you remember Kinija Village, similar concept we have set up. We're going to put that on our platform as well, so people from the diaspora, when you're traveling back home, you want to feel in the middle of the city, you want to feel that village ambience, you can come to the Heritage Village. But so when it comes to eWally, our platform indeed empowers and enables the hotel management space to post their vacancies, take pictures, post them. You can look at the picture, you like the room, the rates are there, you select it, and you do your booking. Payment is transferred to the service provider. Our health app, which I didn't expect our e-commerce conversation to be this broad.
It's e-commerce. It's internet. It's internet commerce, man. Yeah.
So our health platform is really, really unique and it's groundbreaking. And actually, I'm amazed at what we were able to do in a short time. And I kept saying this because we gave value to our young team, and they are shareholder in our company, so we don't have to fight. Everything is built. By the way, everything is built 100% right here.
Yep.
My developers are just next door. If I make a deal with you today, Brople, and I say, okay,
but our developer with me because they're in the office too.
All right, there you go.
all local.
Wait, speaking of shares, are your businesses open for people to purchase shares right now?
Yeah, right now I am open to that. We wanted to make sure we have most of our business set up so when people come, we can have an easy negotiation. You know, when you are in the development stage, there's a lot of things that you can be challenged with. We manage most of the things by ourselves, so we are opening up now to investors. We have had some offers from big companies to individuals, so we are open to connecting. We have a major project with the city corporation. Is huge. I can't call numbers here right now, but it's actually unexpectedly huge. But our health app, my brother, it is groundbreaking, and we already got an engagement from Nigeria. We are solving a problem of Africa, and actually not just of Africa. Even my first wife, she's Dutch. She's a medical doctor, and when she viewed the platform, she was like, "Are you kidding me? Even in Europe, we don't have this sort of all-inclusive platform that serves the patient, the nurses, the drugstore. Everybody is in one space. In the hospital, when you go for treatment, the doctor, once he does a prescription, he can immediately check which nearby drugstore will have the drug. It could be in-house at a place, but he could also refer you to nearby. We're trying to work with the Liberian Medical Health Regulatory Authority regarding the quality of drugs. So the drugs that will be on the platform should be approved, because that's one of the issues we have in Liberia. Most of the drugs stores don't have the approved drugs, so we want only approved drugs to be on the platform. Appointments for hospitals, that's something that is not in Liberia. Every hospital you go to, there's a queue of 200 people, so you have to bribe your way in between. So with our platform now, you can actually set appointment and
Mr. Kamara?
Yes.
I'm partnering with a company called Diaspora Care. I don't know if you've heard about Diaspora Care.
I've heard about them, but I don't know how to get to them.
Well, I will link you with them because I'm trying to partner with them for pharmaceutical
Wow.
payments abroad. So we in the
Yeah.
diaspora will pay for pharmaceutical medication when they get that from
I
that.
heard
And
about it. I heard
so
about it.
so yeah, let's talk. Let's
You're
talk
you're
after.
getting close to
I,
eating more.
no,
Hey,
we
we're trying to
really,
develop the
so,
country, my man.
yeah, so Mr. Jassy,
Absolutely.
always, every time on this platform, I'm trying to think about ways that we can ease our, I even wrote there, all of my product, diaspora component, diaspora component, diaspora component. I see value in really making this relationship thick. And
Yeah.
the things you can do for us over there is to keep yelling and screaming. You have your brother's business that can do better or even more service oriented, and they know the ground. You need to tell these people that it's not like before where there will be no record. There are record. In fact, we are not even seeing the money as a company. Once you transmit your funds, it goes directly to the person wallet. They go and collect the money, or it goes directly to the wallet of the service provider. We are not. We are only facilitating these transactions,
Yeah.
and so please, y'all need to ring the bell. And
So
this time,
so one of the things.
just drop your number here. Bobby, I can get
Yeah.
Mr. George's number from you. I would appreciate that, so we can really
Okay.
connect you after. Yeah.
Yeah,
One of
I'll
the
connect
things.
everybody together. And guys, we got we're way over time here, but
Yeah.
we'll definitely have to do an encore.
Yeah.
Just based on the interest. Today we just kind of scratched the surface. I
Yeah.
apologize. We don't have much more time, but we'll definitely be reaching back out to you guys. This Friday we have a show on tourism. We'll
Oh,
have the president of the Liberian Tourism Association, Miss May Ure, and Mr. Gerald Barkley, who owns a tourism company, and we'll also have Mr. Prince Sagba to talk about the tourism side of his business. So you guys please tune in, and in a couple of weeks we'll
Bobby,
definitely.
do we have a minute that we can give them 1 minute closing each to say what
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have to
yeah,
say?
for sure.
thank
To
you,
give their
thank you,
wrapping
George.
up
Thank you.
Thank you.
statements. Yeah, yeah, of course I'll do that, gentlemen. Hey, we can just let you go like that.
I know.
So yeah, let's do that. Let's give some closing statements, gentlemen. Uh, Go ahead and start. Whoever wants to start first, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. So again, what a delight, and thanks for this platform. And like I said, Liberia is not the Liberia of even 5 years ago. There are a lot have changed. I see a lot of our brothers really penetrating. Um, uh, I if I just may tap my shoulder just a little, upon my chest a little bit, I was happy. I was in Ghana in 2010 or 2011, probably. No, 2010. The H cable that today enables us to do all of these services. I was at a conference, and there was a large conference for any country to join. I was at the time commissioner at the LTA, and it was a day we announced our interest for Liberia to hook up, and this has really, really helped. So our e-wallet platform for those in the diaspora and even here, let your people know they can use their credit card, top up their account, and send the money to your account here. It's very, very easy and convenient. For EPAD, again, for help your health services, one thing that EPAD does, I will hear my brother talk about data. The Minister of Health will be able to predict epidemics. They will be able to see different kinds of activities on her dashboard in terms of how health issues, what sort of, I would say, sicknesses are in certain region, where how are they using medications, what are the medications that are, overly.
We may have to bring you back, Mr. Kamara.
Yeah, thank you. So there are a lot of things there, and of course, I
Okay.
didn't even touch school mass, but I will come another time to talk about school mass. We just
Thank you.
launched something they call the public examination preparation platform that all students in the 12th grade to improve their grades. They are currently using the platform to do their online preparation for the WAS examination. I think this year we will notice a change in the result from our students. Thank you very much for
Thank
affording us the
you.
opportunity.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kamara. All right. So, Prince, you want to go next?
Yeah. Again, I want to say thank you to Bobby and for inviting me. This is the time in Liberia that Liberia needs us the most. Whatever ideas he can come up with. There has been gap in the technology stage, and now we are seeing the opportunity to expand in e-commerce. And for True Liberia, it's been really amazing when I even go on, most of the time, Facebook, YouTube, and through the website, seeing feedbacks from people on how they have been, they are able to access, Liberia businesses in Liberia. So, go if you haven't been to True Liberia, if you haven't visited our website, it's www.trueliberia.com. You can search restaurants, hotel, beaches, guest houses, and so many different businesses. We have the team, we are putting it together, the team right now, to be able to go out and get more businesses. We have over 500 businesses right now in listed in our database, and 450 of them are live. You can search their pages and see more information. For the most part, we want to launch our app very soon, but that is, we are looking at certain amount of data we can get of businesses in Liberia. So you can check it out. You can check out our YouTube channel. We are promoting Liberia, everything positive about Liberia. Um, each and every day we are uploading videos now of different places in Liberia. For my brothers on here with a different different businesses. The Heritage Center, we've been trying to reach out to you guys to do a video for our YouTube channel showcasing the Heritage Center. So, brother Kamara, I will definitely be reaching out to you. We do videos showcasing places, businesses in Liberia of all kinds, free of charge. I have videographers with cameras ready to go and do a walk through the business area. So I know many people are most of the time been when we reach out to businesses to get friends and say, thinking we're going to charge them. No, all the businesses we are feature. We just did a video for Camilo ice cream. We did a video for Ocean 11. A lot of different. We do a walkthrough of the business of the area, so people
Yeah.
see that you can enter some area Ocean 11 and you think you are in Europe or the US. These are the kind of
Wow.
videos through Liberia we want to showcase, that there are the places in Liberia. So again, it's trueliberia.com. And you can also follow us on Facebook. And hey, let's keep pushing and keep contributing to Liberia.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Sagba. And
And
we'll.
my watchman, brother Brople, I'm going to sign my family up.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get more understanding, and today if you came on as a salesman, you already sold me.
Okay.
It showed me
Thank
too.
you. Yeah.
I'm
Thank
going to
you.
sign up.
Yeah. So
All right. So now take it away.
yeah, thank you. Look, Bobby, thank you for the time for this platform for us to do this. This is very encouraging. Again, you know, Liberians, Africans understand the context. Okay, only us understand the context. You can bring foreign developers, they will not understand the context. When you have local developers, they'll understand the context. When you have somebody who's been to the country, they'll understand the context. So I'm very encouraged. Okay, and with my watchman, I always like to say that like we're really trying to put safety in the palm of every Liberian hand, irrespective of your socioeconomic status. Okay? Irrespective of your socioeconomic status. Leveraging technology while strengthening the state infrastructure. That's key. So that's why we see ourselves as a social impact firm. All right. So as we go about, this, I would just want to admonish us to look at the full spectrum of our customer base. Okay, because a lot of times when we enter these spaces, your biggest opportunity is at the bottom of the wealth pyramid, the informal sector. That's your biggest opportunity. Do not sleep on that group. You sleep on that group, Liberia is not big enough to only focus on one spectrum. So I'll just encourage us as we're actually engaging our space. Let's make sure that we always contextualize and think about that group. But look, it's been a great conversation. Really excited about the future. I'm actually gonna connect. I actually not log into True Liberia actually to try to see how to even submit your business. I log in, but anyway, we'll talk offline about that. But look, it's been great. Let's keep the conversation going. All right. It works, people. If we have interest, and I'm speaking from my watch, man, within the next couple of months, we'll actually be signing papers in Kenya. A Liberian firm signing papers.
Wow.
Okay.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So
congratulations.
that says something that we're doing something right. We may have only 10,000 subscribers in Liberia, or we may be struggling to get it because of either the literacy rate or whatever the case may be. But my encouragement to everyone is let Liberia, definitely because of our size, let it be a beta site, or you test things out, but you must go pressure test that thing somewhere else. That's the only way we'll stay around. That's the only way we'll stay around. Okay? We have a very small space to work in, right? We can work there, but let's go outside and test that, and let's take our innovation outside of Liberia as well, so we can put ourselves on the map.
Okay.
But thank you, everyone.
So Bobby,
Thank you.
from my end, if you're a young person out there, you're in college, or you're a Liberian, take advantage of going to school. Take advantage of looking at the future. There's a lot of employment coming in that space. And if you don't prepare yourself, the opportunity will come by and pass. So don't think that you're going to school for nothing. Right now, maybe you don't have a job, but keep focused because there will be a lot of opportunities coming that you want to be a part of. Bobby and I respect this forum. We come here, we talk business, and we talk about ways of networking and making it work. So from Liba end, let's network. We want to make sure that you send us your information. We have a WhatsApp with over 260 small businesses on. Most of these people do business in Liberia as well. I will add you to the app, to our WhatsApp app.
You don't add me to the WhatsApp, or Jackson.
I know I will put you there later. I mean, I think you can't talk here. I think about partnering with you, talking about adding you to WhatsApp. All right, guys.
No, but I think it's been amazing, gentlemen. I'm happy for this conversation. These are the things I think will move Liberia forward, not the constant politics. Everywhere you go, everybody wants to talk politics, but you guys are actually doing the work. You're moving the needle. That's the most important thing in my view. And Jackson and I, we talk about it all the time. And that's the reason why this platform was set up with Pastor Patience Play and everybody else. 2A Radio as is on the team. We have other partners that are not here tonight, but we're trying to drive this narrative that Liberia needs to be heard. Okay, and we want to spotlight the good work that Liberians are doing and elevate it. So next week, this week, we're going to be talking about tourism, which is another key opportunity that Liberia has. And just listening to you guys tonight, we're going to turn this whole conversation into tourism.
Sure.
Because tourists want to know that there's access to their records, that safe healthcare. They want to know if they can call the police and fire station. They want to know where to go to eat. I mean, come on. What better combination of people to have to talk about tourism? So, gentlemen, that's it for tonight.
Thank you.
We'll definitely see you in a few weeks. Just stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen out there in radio and TV land, thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you same time next week, Monday. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Good night.